Hey folks, it's kick-ass career coach Mo Fall here with another installment of Motivational Monday. Welcome to another fantastic week. I know you're thinking, Mo, do you realize what's going on in the world? Of course. But here's the thing. We're going to talk about 6 major career traps that you probably don't know. And we're going to solve them, each and every one of them, all through the week. Got to get myself squared up with my camera here. So it's great to see everyone. Please comment and let me know that you're here so I can say hello. This is a week of all Facebook Lives. So you're going to see me from now on every morning, 8:30 Eastern time. For those of you in Pacific time, get up early. Or stay on this Facebook group and get the notifications and allow yourself to be reminded to tune in, because I'm talking about the 6 major career traps you don't know. And you know, the interesting thing is about not knowing career traps is that you don't really know the pain that these are causing you. You haven't probably done the math on it, but I've done some math because I've spoken to thousands of women, thousands. And please, ladies, let me know you're here. I've spoken to thousands of women over the 5 years that I've been doing this work. And I'll tell you something, the things that limit promotions, the things that cause fighting and tension among your coworkers and peers, the things that make your talents invisible. You know, I'm working so hard, why isn't anyone noticing? How about the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you may be losing because you haven't up-leveled and you're not playing at the level where you deserve to be playing at? Because these 6 major career traps have you befuddled. And you might think they're normal things of being a human being, but they're getting in your way. I just spoke to a woman today, and she's leaving at least $50,000 on the table every year for at least a good 5 years. Now, that's pretty easy math. That's $250,000 that she's written a check to her company for feeling complacent. So to the bank of complacency, she's written a check for $250,000. That's a big check. These 6 major career traps cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about a problem that might cost, $1,000 or $2,000. I'm talking about big dollars. And look, if you're making $80,000, but you should be making 40, you're in the same situation. If you're making 120, but you really should be making 150, 160, you're in the same situation. We just helped one of our gals, she just graduated on Friday, rock on, make a $32,000 career jump in 12 weeks. And she started working with us riddled by anxiety and literally sick to her stomach on most mornings facing the job that she is leaving. In 12 weeks. And as all of her friends were saying to her, oh, but you can't get a new job in COVID. Oh, you can't do that. Now's not the time. Now is the time. Hello to Tarina. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Michelle. Nice to see you, ladies. Now is the time. There's no better time to claim your power and stop one of these career traps from getting the best of you. You're literally giving up on your career and on your dreams if you're staying in one of these traps. Why give up? And now is not the time. Now is the time where people are defined. Now is the time where you're making your move. You don't want to be paralyzed with fear anymore. You don't want to doubt yourself. Whoops, just lost my pen. But if you stay in one of these career traps, you're potentially choking your entire career off, and especially now. And if you're in an industry that just lost its business core, you better make a move. What are you waiting for? You're probably going to downgrade yourself and convince yourself of something. And here's the thing, the first career trap. You ready for this one? The first career trap is blaming others. I'm just going to write that down here. Blaming others. How does this show up? You know, blaming others is really boiled down to one really key thing here. This career trap is going to get you by the neck because you might be doing this without even knowing it. And as soon as it becomes part of who you are and how you view the world, you've pretty much locked yourself into a prison that other people aren't going to join you in. And if they do, they're in the same trap. So all of the people who are going to join you in this trap are the same way. Guess what happens when you hang out with people who blame others? One big blame fest. And you've got such negative energy that all you're going to attract is more negative energy. I can't predict anything more than this. There's not a weather person on this planet who can predict weather more than this attractor pattern. If you're blaming others and you have people around you who are doing the same thing, you are creating such an attractor pattern. I could lay out what's going on for you. Here's the key to know if this is the trap that you're in. You use the word they. Or as a proxy, like maybe you're blaming COVID for your current career problems. I'm going to ask you to do yourself a little bit of self-responsibility, or as we call it in our workshop, radical self-responsibility. Did you have a career problem before COVID? Or is everything hunky-dory? And you were advancing every 2 to 3 years, new position, promotion, greater responsibility, notching it up on the salary curve, notching it up on the satisfaction curve, working on yourself and getting stronger and more confident in yourself. If that was your career before COVID and now it's in the toilet, I don't know about that. Now, if you were in the hospitality, travel industry, big job, awesome stuff going on, you might still be in there solving the problem of what's going on because those industries have to rebound. They need smart people to help them rebound. They don't need workers complaining. So blaming others looks like they and them or that. That was my problem. That was their problem. So which way are you going? Is it that was their problem or this is my problem? Blaming others is going to put you in this box of negative energetic vortex. And it is going to guarantee you a continued negative vortex. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're being sucked into this massive negativity. When you blame others, well, the people around me this, well, my colleagues that. Well, I tried to do that and it didn't work because they wouldn't implement it. They wouldn't listen to me. My boss never this or that. When you say things like that, you are blaming others. And I know that that's a convenient way to look at the world. I get it. But successful, soulful, awesome women don't blame others. They take radical responsibility about their lives and their careers, and they do something about it. Look, if you don't know how to navigate the world in a powerful way, and maybe you bring all of this power with you. Maybe you're just built with all this power and you can't focus it. And perhaps you're blaming others for not being able to accept who I am. I've heard that before, and that's something that we help our ladies channel. Well, I'm just too plain spoken, or they just can't handle me. They can't handle me. Bing, 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 bing. Blame siren should be going off when you hear the word out of your mouth of they. They just don't understand. They don't see things as clearly as I do. I have a better perspective. They don't get it. That's called blaming others. You know, the simplistic way to think about blaming others is something goes wrong and you're like pointing the finger. I'm talking about the bigger picture blaming. When your world, your life, your career isn't going the way you want, and it's because of others. Now, it never really is because of others. It's always about you. I know. Mo, aren't you just blaming me then? Yes. If your life is not on track, if your career is not on track, it's up to you to fix it. And it's not up to you to point the finger to everyone else and expect them to fix your career. This is your life and your career. It's up to you to fix it. Now, every now and then, in comes a great manager, in comes a great boss, a great leader, lifts everyone. Awesome. This is fantastic. But if you're dependent on having that in your career is going to be a roller coaster. Good boss, bad boss, good boss, bad boss, good boss, bad boss, good boss, bad boss. If you are dependent on others in how you are trajectorying your career, you're always going to be limited by others. You have to take radical responsibility for your career and for the things that you do during the day and how you show up. You know, there's a really dramatic story of someone who I knew quite well in my professional career when I was in organizations. And she talked so negatively about her boss to the wrong person. To the wrong person. And that person was related to her boss, and she didn't know it. Guess what happened? Yep. A little punch in the face. Yep. So blaming others also can be the source of gossip and career limiting conversations that you may not even know about. You may have spoken negatively or blamed someone else and you thought you were having a private conversation, and you may not have known the back channels that information may have gotten to. You may not even know it. You may not even be aware. But I can tell you this, you've got to be very responsible for who you tell what to. And if you're blaming others, you've got negative stuff that if you throw it out to others and share that, you are opening all sorts of channels for people to see you as someone who doesn't take responsibility. Here's someone who says, I was the reason my life was messed up. It has taken work, but I'm getting things straightened up. My life is much better. I'm going to get my career back on track. Well, book your career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity. And we'll be happy to help you get your career not only back on track, but at the level that is worthy and deserving of who you are and what you bring to the table. So we're happy to help you out. I don't have your name on my comments here, but happy to help you out and guide you, at least in the initial conversation. We'll break things down and sort it out as to what actually did go wrong and well, and what's working, what's not working, and where you want to go. And if we can help you, we'll sort that out as well. And if it's a good fit, we can rock your world and up-level you in marvelous ways. So blaming others is definitely a trap that I want to help you see when you may be in it. And here's some ways to avoid it. Number one, self-aware. You have to be aware of when you use the word they. Number two, don't talk about blaming others with others, because you're just spreading crap. Don't spread crap at work. As a matter of fact, don't spread crap at home either. Crap is crap. Like, it's not a great idea to spread crap. It's not. A good idea is to figure out what it is that is causing you to feel frustrated, angry, disempowered. You've got to come to the conclusion of what it is in you or the situation that you have allowed to get the best of you. And once you do that, you can then begin to sort it out and solve it. But here's the thing. So many of us human beings have blind spots. That's why I hired my first coach 20 years ago, because I clearly had blind spots about what I was attempting to achieve at my then position. And I was hitting the brick wall over and over again. And someone said to me, hey, I know this coach that maybe she could help you because that's what she does. And this was before coaching was even talked about much. And I remember meeting her and thinking, she doesn't have a big career, a big executive job. How is she going to help me? But when I explained the situation, at least superficially to her, she was able to help me sort it out. And she was a trained coach, so she knew how to do that. And I've had several different coaches along those 20 years. As a matter of fact, I just got off the phone with my current coach, and she's helping me sort out some stuff and actually focusing on my health and putting more of a priority on my physical health and well-being, because that can get off track really quickly. And there is no one for me to blame on that. It's all 100% my responsibility. So that's how we get away from blaming others. We realize self-reflection, that we're doing it. Number two, we stop spreading it out and we stop wanting our story to be reinforced. Again, especially at work, don't do it at work. Just don't. If you need to vent, you need to have a friend, or perhaps it's your spouse, and you got to say, this is a vent session. I don't need help. I just need to vent. And then go vent. Do your venting. But make sure it's in that container so it doesn't become a part of your personality or part of your energetic signature in the world. Because if that's part of how you show up, it's going to limit everything. It will. So you need to take inventory of why this blaming others is actually happening. And when and where did you lose your personal control and accountability? And how are you going to take radical personal responsibility to fixing it? You have to sort through all of those steps in order to move out of this trap. This is the trickiest trap of them all. And I'm going to hit 5 more career traps that are just like this, that you undoubtedly possibly either have been in or are in. And they're costing you emotional, promotional, and compensation-wise. They're costing you. It's a big deal. And if you don't make these changes, you're going to continue to be like stuck in the web of this energy and of this trait. It could become a personality trait. It could become something that you identify heavily with. And then it's a massive blind spot. And then actually recognizing it and wanting to do some reflection on it and wanting to change it starts to get a little elusive, because now this is your pattern and your personality. And once it gets embedded to that level, it is really difficult to change, but it's costing you. It's costing you in your own mental health, anxiety, possibly worry and depression. It's definitely costing you money. And maybe it's even costing you friends and family members being close to you. Because who wants to hear someone go on and on about how they're a victim of their circumstances? No one wants to hear that from anyone. And if they do, they've got their own dysfunctional codependency as well. So it's time to clear up the blaming others. Michelle, yeah, fell into that trap, practically drown in it. But what you did, Michelle, is say, no more, I need help, and you step up to the plate. And you're still stepping up to the plate, which is what this turning this around causes you to have a habit of stepping up to the plate. And here's the thing, if you're almost drowning and blaming others, your body and your nervous system is going to sort of think in a weird way, this is normal. And you're going to aggregate around people that think it's normal as well. And soon enough, just like you mentioned, Michelle, you begin feeling like you're drowning in it and that your life has gotten out of control and that someone else is in the driver's seat. This is a really horrible place to be, and it feels lousy. And it's the thing that begins to cost your career literally hundreds of thousands of dollars as you take yourself out of the control seat, out of the driver's seat, and you place yourself in the passenger seat, and your career becomes a series of what other people have done to you. This is not the way to live. Yes, and paid the price with your health. That's the secondary symptom. The first symptom are the things that happen that slow down your career and cost you promotions, colleagues, peers, and eventually true income. So glad you're moving yourself in the positive direction, Michelle. Jay Lee, I saw your comment earlier. You're ready to move up. You found your groove in a job, and you found your soul's power, and you realize how smart you are and how capable you are. And now it's time to take it to the next level. No one holds back someone who takes responsibility. You may have to do a little work. You may have to get some tools and techniques that you don't know about. You may have to call experts. All right? But this blaming others is a really serious trap that's going to cost you. All week, I am talking about the 6 major career traps that you don't even know. And tomorrow morning at 8:30 and Wednesday morning, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, if you're watching this live, all the rest of the week, I'm covering the other major traps. And I'll rattle them off real quick so you know what I'm covering. Settling and complacency, fear of making a mistake, making excuses, people pleasing, and doing it all yourself. I will say this, all of these topics and items I know are problems for professional women. First of all, because I got in some of these traps myself. I can't say I ever got into settling and complacency. That's not my jam. But overworking and people pleasing and putting my suit on and making sure I was who I was supposed to be to others, definitely big traps. So we're going to sort these out one by one every single day. And just like today, I'm going to give you exact specific things that you need to do to wrap this career trap in a little container and do something about it. So today, if blaming is your career trap, if that's one of your habits, if that's part of who you are and what you bring to the world, you have got to change it now. It is literally taking you under. And again, most people don't even realize when it takes them under. And Michelle, again, bravo to you. And yes, getting a job during COVID because you have all of the techniques and all of the tools and you are kick-ass. That's what we do. And you know, with all due respect, Michelle, it did take you a while to pull yourself back to a level where you are deserving of being employed and contributing in an organization, and no judgment. But that's sometimes what happens. If you wait too long to solve these career trap problems, it's just going to take longer to pull it together. We know how to do it. We are experts. My team and I know exactly how to help get you back. And we go into your soul first because that's your powerhouse. Most people are looking for their power from the outside world or looking for some tricky strategy. We have all the strategies that you need. But the tricky strategy, the magic formula, is that your soul and your soul's power needs to be woven into what you bring to the table. And if you don't have your soul's power there, you're going to continue to be off alignment, off kilter, and not synced up with your true power. Once we get that taken care of, then all the reasons why you fall into these major career traps go away. Jay Lee, yes, you may have waited 9 years too long, but guess what? You've corrected it. You're on track. You're a powerful version of who you are. And now it's time to just set the tone for who you're going to be in the world and what that future is going to look like. So you are all squared away. Will these be recorded so I can watch after work? I need to hear more. Hey, Deb, 8:30 Eastern time every morning for the rest of this week. And yes, they are recorded. They will be sitting here waiting for you every single day, kept in this Facebook feed. And we are happy to have you visit the video later on. And believe me, I shoot it straight. I shoot it real. I lay down the truth, not only because I care about all women, professional women who are suffering in the workplace. Most of you have fixable problems. Most of you have problems that you don't know how to fix. And I get that. I didn't know how to fix my problems either until I brought in a coach and started doing things differently. And to tell you the truth, my breast cancer journey is what brought me to the truth of the truth. It wasn't until that episode in my life that I truly got into my soul level and stopped trying to solve my problems from my brain. And if you've been in my coaching workshop, or if you've been watching me, you know that you cannot solve the problems of your career and your life by analyzing them. Almost every woman we talk to, well, I've been thinking this and thinking that, they get confused. And of course you get confused if you're trying to think through what your soul isn't generating. You can't do that. This is not a math equation. This is not an English exam. This is your life, and it's complex. And blaming others, this first major career trap, is not something you can think and solve or read a book and solve. You have to do self-reflection. You have to get into the nitty-gritty of it. You have to take radical responsibility, and you have to find out exactly what it is that's causing you to blame others. And you literally have to stop it. Sometimes the stopping it is the thing that gets you caught up, because a lot of people aren't self-disciplined or hold themselves accountable. And that's the great thing about having coaches and being a part of a 12-week program that progressively brings you into your power. I know. It's amazing what we can do in 12 weeks. And Paula, it definitely took you years to get back on track, and you're definitely ready to move forward. But here's the thing. You saved yourself from the prison of the events in your life. And it was tough and it was difficult. And you were at a place where it was bleak. But in those 12 weeks, you got yourself from bleak to employed and moving forward. And yes, you are. So many layers of junk to work through, but it was worth it. Absolutely. And you know what? That's what it's all about. It's not about whether you'll have external things to deal with. You will. As a human being on this planet, you're going to have stuff to deal with. You're going to have people who challenge you. You're going to have things not go your way. And you have to deal with it in a powerful way. If you deal with it in a victim-y way, blaming others and casting a defense mechanism that only shutters you down and collapses you, you're not going to get out of it. And you know what happens? When you don't solve the rudimentary lessons that are handed to you, the universe has this magical, wonderful way of forcing you to change by making your problems bigger. If you handle them, if you take responsibility and up-level yourself and see things differently and begin to conduct yourself in a different manner, the universe doesn't have to kick you in the pants a little bit harder or punch you in the face. I got to get my stunt double in. You will have a worse problem if you don't fix the problems today, because that's the only way that your soul and the universe can get your attention. And it wants you to be awesome. The universe wants you to expand into the most gracious, beautiful, awesome being that you are. And that is definitely what life is all about, expansion. So blaming others is your focal point today. Give yourself some homework this evening and take a look at, are you blaming others? Are you blaming the world? Are you blaming COVID? Are you blaming your parents? Are you blaming your siblings? Are you blaming your spouse? Are you blaming your kids? Blah! So many stakeholders in the blame game. Shut it down. Learn from it. Take radical responsibility. And if you want to know exactly how we do it and see if my workshop and our 10-week transformational program, it's transformational. You're going to learn a lot, but it's transformational. If you want to see if that's the right fit for you and see if we can help you and really get to the core of what's not working in your career, book your complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity. This is the place where we sort it out and we help you see the truth of what's truly going on. Yep. You're here because you're ready for the truth. You're here because you know something bigger and something deeper has to be seen and has to be sorted out in order for you to move forward. Stop blaming others today. Set it aside. Take radical responsibility for this major career trap. If this is your trap, and you could also have one of the other 5, and you could have multiple. There have been people we've worked with who've had all of these traps. Taking radical responsibility is key to fixing it. Do not fall into the blame game. Do not be a victim of your own lack of responsibility. Take responsibility and take action. Book your complimentary career clarity call to get things going. mofall.com/live clarity. And be like one of the awesome women who've been commenting today on this Facebook Live about their success and how they found their power and found their soul and stopped blaming the rest of the world. This is your life. You are the only person who can turn it around and take it to the next level. Sure, you may not know how to do it, but you're the only person who can do it. We'll show you the way. This is Coach Mo Fall. Time to stop the blame game and book your complimentary career clarity call to get things started in the right direction. We'll see you each day this week for the next major career trap that you may not even know about. That's probably holding you back from promotions, poisoning your peers and colleagues' relationships. Maybe your boss has seen you as invisible and not promotion worthy, and it's costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. All of these traps each have that significance to them. So tune in and we'll solve and talk about the next one tomorrow and all week. We'll be piling it up for you to take a close look at the major traps that are possibly, probably, definitely holding your career back. We'll see you next time, which is tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. This is Coach Mo. I am the founder, the creator, and the massive up-leveler of souls in the Kick-Ass Career Workshop. Ladies who have been with me, I love and appreciate your comments. And if you don't know my work and you haven't done it, it's time for you to dive in and change your career and life. See you tomorrow morning.